And we're live again. Streaming time. Well, Carlos here, Carlos and Chantel.
Hey, y'all.
My beautiful bride is with me this time. And we were just thinking, we're cruising around, we have to run some errands. We thought we might jump on and talk a little bit about the post that Chantel made on Facebook. I reposted it in a couple places, and then also, it's a great post about the power of yoking up. So, you tell the story, babe. Tell the story of the post.
All right.
And then we'll kind of do a follow-up. We'll talk about the posts. We had some people comment on the post, so it'll be good to... We always love good comments and even...
Interaction. We love interaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Super awesome.
So, the post came from... as many people know, we've been really busy traveling, doing a couple of weddings, part of a couple of weddings, lots of travel, right? And we drove because we love to have our car. We love road trips. There's a lot of different things going on. So anyways, the result of that is, my body, I call it drive body, right? So I've been going to the chiropractor, kind of my whole upper shoulders and what?
All right, I was trying to send that. Red lights. I thought I'd send it. Did it send? There we go.
So, anyways,
Sorry.
Squirrel. Where's my train of thought now? So yeah, my whole upper back from driving was really sore and tight, and so I've had a couple of chiropractic appointments, and this last one, my chiropractor, who's amazing, shout out to Dr. Hughes, at Back to Wellness in Rutledge. So he just briefly, as I got off the table, where are you going? Wrong way.
Oh yeah. Keep going.
Anyways,
I'll get there.
We're going around the block. So I got off the table, and he was like, "The weight of the world," and it was just kind of, I don't know, a fun thing. He was more joking with me than anything, but it stuck, right? I go home and I'm like thinking about that. I'm on Zooms with clients. I've got, family stuff going on. We've got all the things, life, all the things that life throws at us, right? And I'm like, I've just, my mind is just thinking about all of the things, whether it's what we need to do, what we have coming up, what we've, been processing through, all of the life things. So anyways, I get into bed. Carlos is getting ready, and I said something. I said something about Dr. Hughes saying that, the weight of the world, and Carlos looked at me and was like, "Is that how you feel?" And I'm like, "I guess I kind of do right now." Like, yeah, I'm feeling that. He proceeds to go get ready, and but I hear him say, "Well, I'd like to."
Said, "Is that what you want?"
No, right. You said you already had said, "Is that what you feel?"
Yeah.
But then you were like, "Well, I'd like to carry some of it with you," right?
Yeah. Yep.
Which was really precious, and of course, I'm grateful for that. But it just got me thinking about the roles men and women have and what we carry. And so anyways, that's what this post was talking about. That my mind goes, a lot of times it has to do with being a mom, being the sort of the battle level, right? So what that entails, there's the financial, the protection, all of those things, the dreams and the goals and the heartbeat of the trajectory of the family. And so, anyways, the whole point of the post was we were never meant to carry the burdens alone. We were meant to yoke up together in marriage as a team. And,
Yes.
The same is true for business, for, again, family, relationships, right? That's the beauty of relationships, is that we get to share in, life. And life is not always, peaches and roses and, amazing, fun things. Life has some challenges, and are we, how are we participating in each other's lives? Are we yoking up? Are we somebody that somebody feels like they can yoke up to if they're feeling weak, right? So anyways, the whole point is that, I made this post, feedback, and then there's feedback that comes in the form of spirituality, right? There's verses, here's on him, his burden is light and his yoke is easy. And
and that God's the one who will carry
all you gotta do is yoke up with God, or with Jesus, even,
and that potentially what the impression was is like, you're not yoking up with God in a sense.
Sorry, y'all.
The impression is, again, sometimes people make comments and they don't even know you or ask questions, right? Asking questions are very honoring, by the way, and very amazing. Like, what about yoking? Could have said, what about yoking with God? Shouldn't God be the one that you yoke with? Which, yes. And actually, it's pretty cool because that's what we tell people to do first and foremost. And I believe, too, that identity and the reason for issues is because of our lack of our identity. That we have identity issues, and that is why that we are challenged with being able to yoke up with people in general, whether it's your, friend, family member, let alone your spouse. So the first challenge, you're right, is to be able to yoke up with God. But that's not what we were talking about with this. This was totally for the purpose of yoking up. But of course, yes, yoke up with God first. However, this is what's interesting is like that will sometimes be a scapegoat. Well, my wife or my husband or this person just needs to get with God. They don't have enough of God, and that's why they're having issues, or that's why they're so stressed out. And it's like, wait a second. What happened to you being able to lighten their burden as well and yoke up with them and lighten their load? And I think it starts with the yoke. Like, do people even really understand what that means to yoke up with someone and even know the purpose of the yoke? Like, let's go there first. Because, like, why does God say that to yoke? That he wants to yoke with us. He wants us to yoke with each other. He wants us to, join together in, let alone the yoking part of it, but yeah, even one flesh. That's what he tells us to do. Become one flesh with our spouse. That's even greater synchronicity and even greater being in movement and working together. When you're one, let alone yoking, is kind of the beginning. But again, I want to bring this up because we work with a population that is incredibly knowledgeable about what it means to yoke, what it means to connect. And how do they know? Why are they so knowledgeable? Well, because we work with the Amish community, the Mennonite community. And guess what? They are people that either do or used to drive buggies. I'm done driving. We're parked now. And so they drive buggies, and they know how to put the yoke on a horse to yoke up a team of horses. One horse can go about 15 miles. Two horses, because they're sharing the load with a yoke connecting them, can literally go double that. It's amazing. And then a team of horses, that's what they used to use, for in the old Western days, to a team of horses to even haul like money, like, they would have a team of horses that could run faster than the single horse and outrun, if they was trying to do a robbery and everything. Like, do your research. It's pretty crazy. Like, and that's two yokes with 4 horses and multiple horses. Like, you have to hook the yokes up together. And it was cool. Like, my last 2 trips ago to Indiana, I met up with a gentleman, an Amish gentleman, who was explaining to me how important not only yoke is, but the harness, and then how the harness is strategically, the ropes and the reins are hooked up to the harness, then to the yoke. It all matters for them to work well together. He even shared a story where it wasn't hooked up right. Just some of the straps on the reins weren't hooked through looped the right way and the right strategy, and the horses were fighting each other, weren't working together. And as I got to learn from him, it's super important the way you do it. And that's what we believe too, the strategy of connection, the strategy of yoking up. So I think that's step 1. Do you even know what a yoke is and what it's used for? It's for doing work. The yoke is a great equalizer. I'm not the boss. She's not the boss when we yoke together. Guess what? It's a solid piece of equipment that doesn't allow. Matter of fact, if one tries to be leading and pulling up and pulling, it literally will cause the work to be harder. You got to get in synchronicity, in step. There's a skill to yoking. So like, that's step 1, is, do people even know what the yoke is and how it's used?
And how to get there.
That's right. How to get in sync. And so, like, we talk about yoking up, and you're like, well, you're supposed to give God your burdens and yoke with God. It's like, what? That's your answer? It's interesting. Like, I agree with you, but again, do you know what the yoke is used for? Do you know that God also says, that the husband is to treat his wife as Christ treats the bride, right? All the things we see in the Bible, it's where it's all to dealing with marriage. He is the groom, we are the bride, and marriage, like the example of marriage and being one with the Father, like Papa God, like that's the goal, but that's also the example here on earth, is in a marriage becoming one flesh. It's so interesting. So again, how important the yoke is and what that looks like to even yoke up together.
It's practical.
It's very practical.
It's very practical. We say all that to say there's practical applications. It's, we have work to do, especially in marriage, especially, in this day and age where, can I be frank? People are lazy. People are lazy and they're unwilling to do the work. It's the microwave mentality. It's also the disposable mentality. Yep. And, our marriages are suffering. So, we're calling you to yoke. We're calling you to choose each other, to choose to work together, to be in sync with your spouse. So.
Yes. And even when you studied the yoke, this is the powerful thing. If you would be willing to yoke up with another, here's the practicality of it. You got 2 oxen. To be an ox, it's actually a discipline. That was one of the faces that God chose in the 4 faces of God in Ezekiel and Revelation. So I'm very, very interested in it. The face of the eagle, the ox, and the lion, okay? And then the face of man. And so it's very interesting to me. I've studied it. Once I realized that that's a face of God, why would he choose ox? When you study the ox, it's a discipline. And the discipline is to be able to work with another ox, and they call it oxen. It's not even an animal per se. It's a discipline, but it is a bovine. But an ox could be a female or a male. It can be
a bull or a cow.
Bull or a cow. It literally can. It's the discipline of getting them to work together that creates the oxen. And what does that is the yoke. You can study it. It's super cool. And the fact that God chose the ox as one of his faces, like, made me go really deep into studying this. So what you learn is that by themselves, an ox, won't even call it an ox, a bovine by itself, because an ox means that they're disciplined to become an oxen and work with the yoke. But an ox by themselves, or a cow or bull by themselves, can pull double their weight. Okay, I love this example. So Carlos, I'm a bull and I weigh 1,000 pounds. So I can pull 2,000 pounds by myself. That's what's practical, capable of a bull or a cow. They can pull double their weight. That's normal. Check this out. This is why it's so important for the yoking to be equalized and the work to be equalized and for them to be in sync. Because when they are, that yoke, when they choose to the discipline of being an oxen and choose to be yoked up together, it's real. Go do your research. It's awesome. They can pull 2 times their weight. And what does that mean? Well, you've got 3 times. Thank you. 3 times their weight. Double their weight by themselves. Right. When they're yoked, they can do 3 times their weight. Now, why is that significant? Well, let's talk about this. I can pull 2,000 pounds. Let's say my wife here is 1,000 pounds, right? Bad thing to say about your wife. But for this sake, please go with it. So now we're both oxes, because that's the discipline. I'm an ox. She's an ox. Now we can be yoked together because we have that discipline, understanding, and we're willing to be, which is all part of the training. It's so good. We could teach a whole training on oxen. I would if you're interested. Yeah. So check this out. So they yoke together and they pull together. So now they equal 2,000 pounds. They can now pull 6,000 pounds. They both weigh 1,000 pounds. They can pull 3 times their weight. I'm glad she corrected me, because it's true. It is 3 times their weight. 6,000 pounds. Why is this important? The power of the yoke. That's why when Chantel said, I feel like I got the weight of the world on my shoulders, I instantly, literally, I thought of the yoke, and I'm like, well, I hope that I can carry some of that with you. Because guess what? We can carry so much more together. And we do that as humans, as people. We think, well, I got this. I don't want to bother you with it. If I had a nickel for every time our client said, I don't want to bother you with that, I would be super multimillionaire just by nickels. Seriously. Because they think like, oh, I don't want to bother you. Well, that's like trying to do it on your own. And yeah, you'll be able to pull 2,000 pounds on your own. But if you choose to yoke, and guess what? Yoke with someone that's what they do when they're teaching ox. When one ox is teaching another ox, they yoke them up with a more experienced ox so they can learn how to yoke and how to get into sync and how to work together. It's super powerful. So then they can pull 6,000 pounds. Would you rather pull 2,000 or 6,000? And guess what? We've seen in our lives, when we work together, we get done. We do. It's amazing. Literally, when I feel in sync with my wife, and it shows up best, you know where it shows up best? At our epic intensives, at our events. It's crazy. People watch us and tell us, they're like, oh my gosh, can't believe you guys do this. And we're like, do what? For us, it's like, we just do it. We've done so many events over the years, whether it's 1 or 2 day events, evening events, or 7-day events, week-long 10-day events. Like, we've done so many of them over the years. I've lost count. It's because we've done so many. If you talk small, big, small, probably thousands, seriously, over the last 15 years, us being together, that we just do it and we get into sync and we get going, and it's like a flow. Like, she doesn't really tell me what she's doing. I don't tell her what I'm doing. We have a checklist, and we go through it, but we each know what we need to do, and we get it done like that. And we start giving the template to others, and they're like, man, how do you guys do all this? And we're like, oh, you're right, let's yoke together. We do. Then we're like, you need to come work with us at an event, and we'll work together, we'll yoke together, we'll do the work together, and we help them to see that they can do it together too as a couple. And that's what we love and require as well, that you be a couple. We believe in marriage. We believe in husband and wife yoking together and doing the work together. And guess what? We have seen 6,000 pounds. Seriously. We've been able to handle so much more. And it's amazing how God works and the blessings that come from the work that we've done together as a couple. I'm telling you, it's epic. It really is. And so I'm grateful. I want to jump on here because here's the other thing. I had some other comments in the scenario too, and from that post, and I was like, first of all, I would wonder if they were single or married in the comment that was made on my post. First of all, or maybe they had a bad experience in a relationship, and they believed that Paul was single. That's potential. We've dealt with that too. Those are those scenarios. But whether they are single, whether they are married or not married, those are just questions I have. I do, just because I wonder. Because again, a lot of times what happens is as I was processing through, I felt the comments coming, about this whole situation of, well, just, God is the answer. You should carry all your burdens and yoke up with God. And it's like, well, that's first. Second, yoke up with your spouse, or yoke up even in business and partnerships, right? Those are powerful things. And work together, learn how to work together, and even yoking up with your children as you create legacy. And then yoke up with what we call like ambassadors and people that work with you in your business or in your mission or things that you're going after in life. And it's super powerful to see that when people yoke up and they get better results. So you got a team of horses now, not just 3 times your weight, but it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you create movements. You create, I hate to say it, sometimes people get frustrated. I use that as an example, but it's real. You get multi-billion-dollar companies or trillion-dollar companies because they learn how to work together, get into sync, yoke up on a massive scale. And we call it swarm, actually. It's a whole nother thing. That's really getting in sync in a huge amount of people. That's the swarm. But if you can't even master the yoke, I assure you, you can't begin to even start to do a swarm. We're working on the swarm. I'm telling you, I've probably been the bottleneck because I'm pretty stubborn at times about those things. And so, but I'm learning first right here with her, how to best yoke up with her. And she's helping me to yoke up with others and connect with others and get in sync with others and hear them validate. And we're getting more done.
Yep.
So, yeah, I thought I'd jump on here. And by the way, then that goes to the verse that says we will become a threefold cord, right? So much more powerful with 3 of us. Why is there 3? Why is there 3? Oh, yeah. Papa God first. That's why there's 3 and the 2 of us. Threefold cord cannot be broken. Quickly broken, I should say. So it lasts, it's strong, it's powerful. We encourage you, hey, if this stuff is helpful, make a comment. Thanks for the comments here. It's pretty cool.
So the whole point, going back to the point,
Yep,
is practical application.
that's
Okay.
right.
We all are living here on earth, navigating these relationships here. So our practical application matters, and how we choose to yoke, how we choose to love, how we choose to respond, how we choose to communicate. All of those things matter. So we love you. Bless you.
Yes.
We'll see you next time.
Hey, can I ask you a favor real quick too? Some of you probably don't know this, but it really matters when you comment. So thank you, those who have been commenting here. Seriously, thank you. It really matters because then it makes our content and our information available to others. And also, if you like it and subscribe to our channel, it does matter. Others will see it. And I promise you that if you'll do that, we'll keep working hard to bring content to you and bring information to you as we are working on it in our lives. We'll bring you the very best that we have. If you'd be willing just to like and subscribe that and hit that bell, that when we produce some content or we come on here live, that'll let you know. That'd be super helpful to us. And those algorithms will then allow more people to see it and get our message out there. All right. If you want an epic life, we're here to help you have it and create extraordinary. God bless you.